amazing. I don't know, Joel, if you spent any time arguing with atheists. Like I said, I went to college campuses. I even went to that atheist rally in DC they held, the Reason Rally. I went there. And I just remember listening to some of the speeches and talking to people. It's just like, these people think they're so smart and they're idiots. They're really actually pretty dumb, a lot of them. And then you see like James, he's obviously intelligent. He's a good communicator. And this thing has turned him into, it's a psyop. Everything does. Like he's gone. Right. He sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, like, I'm sure there's agents involved in various things. I still believe that whole situation with what's his face? It's not even worth mentioning, but that whole controversy with Stephen Wolf's friend and all that. I think that I think there's something going on there. I can't prove it, so I can't really give you why I think that. But I'm sure there are some like ops going on. I mean, why wouldn't there be? These guys are sick. Right. But like, he just sounds crazy now. He sounds like a village atheist. This is the old school stuff that I remember back in the day them talking about. Right. Do you ever read Joel the handbook for creating atheists? One of his friends wrote that. That Professor Peter Boghossian.
Yeah, I know who that is. Yeah, but I
so that's one. Him and James are pretty close, I think. He wrote this book called a Manual for Creating Atheists. It's basically he envisioned. I kid you not. This is where these guys are at. Mm-hmm. He envisioned creating. You know how like we have a lot of street preachers, Joel. Mm-hmm. And you go out, you preach the gospel, you do, apologetics a lot of times, and those conversations come up. He was going to create what he called street epistemologists to go out and convert people into atheism. They weren't street preachers, they were street epistemologists. He wrote a whole book about it. And it's like, you're crazy, dude. You're actually a nut. That's what you are.
Yeah. It's exactly what Jesus says. You're either for me or against me. There is no neutrality. And I think that's what's important to remember is that at the end of the day, the person who is not with Christ is somebody who, they don't want just a neutral playing field where everybody can, go along to get along. No, they want to convert people to atheism. They want to spread the joy of hatred of God, right? That's what they want.
And they promise you freedom. You'll be a free thinker, and things like that. It's pretty evil. I'm joking about it because it just sounds so stupid, street epistemologist. But it's pretty evil. And I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not saying Lindsay was associated with that. I don't know that he was or not. I'm just saying, like, this is the level, like, these are like the big thinkers in atheism. This is what we're dealing with.
Right.
So it's like, you're going to create an army of street epistemologists. I'm sure that's going to get off the ground. Do you remember when they tried to do the church thing? They were going to do the Sunday meetings. Do you remember that, Joel?
No.
They had a whole movement called the Sunday meeting. And it was going to be just like church, but not church. They were going to have a motivational speech with an intellectual person. They were going to sing songs, atheist songs, unto the atheist God. I don't know. Maybe like rock songs. I don't know what they were going to do. But they envisioned this whole thing where we're going to have Sunday meetings for atheists. You want to know how long that lasts? Probably 2 weeks because it's stupid. Yep. And everybody knows it's stupid.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe it's still going on. I don't know if it really lasts 2 weeks. But it's dumb.
It's funny you said the epistemologists, versus
street epistemologists, yeah,
versus street evangelists. How you said how it's evil, and just to clarify, if somebody's saying, well, you're saying that's evil, but the atheist thinks that you doing evangelism is evil. This is why objectively they're not equivalent. They're not equivalent because from the atheist giving, and I'm not going to straw man it. I want to steel man the opposing position. The best that they could think is that religion is oppressive, right? That religion is like a shackle. So people who believe in the triune God, these are oppressed people, these are shackled people, and they're not as happy as they could be if they were liberated from religion. But by James Lindsay's own position, by his own admission, Christians are fairly happy people in America. And the history of America being predominantly Christian and Christian people, and in the 1950s, these are people who are reasonably happy. So you're really, what you're talking about is with your street epistemologist is taking people who are reasonably happy, but maybe making them a little bit happier because now maybe their conscience isn't beating them up quite as much. For the Christian evangelist, that's the street epistemologist, the atheist. For the street evangelist, you're talking about saving people from going to hell for eternity. right? So we're going to have this team of epistemologists to save people from being kind of happy so that they could be really happy for the next 50 years, and then they're dust, right? And that's it. And then the other position is, no, our motivation is we're doing this first and foremost in obedience to God, and then secondarily out of love for neighbor, because we're talking about the eternal state of somebody not being reasonably happy for 50 years versus really happy for the next 50 years, but somebody for eons and eons and eons and eons into eternity under the just wrath of God, miserable, wishing that they could die but not able to, versus eternal bliss in the presence of the triune God forever. Like that's the difference. So the point is, the atheist could say of the Christian evangelist and say, I disagree with what you're doing, but you can't call it evil. You could call us insane. You could call us confused. You could call us wrong, but you can't call it evil. Not morally evil, ill-willed towards, but for the epistemologists, what you have to say for the street epistemologists on the atheist side, trying to convert, an atheist evangelist, that really is evil in the sense that you're going out and yelling at people and arguing with people and confusing people and all these things for a difference that is nothing, and at best to steel man the opponent. It's negligible, and temporary.
I regret to inform you that the Sunday Assemblies thing is still going on. There's not very many of them, but it's still they still happen.
Let's get back to me in 2,000 years. Let's see if they can hit our record.
That's right.